Hi, it's Cindy Cherry here at Canadian Pet Expo. It's, well, you know what today is? It's Easter. It's Easter Sunday, and here we are. I'm here with Mark. He has, he helps out with parrots. It's the, what do you hear? It's the Ethical Parrot Owners, and he's got some personal issues with people and parrots, and I was just wondering if you could share some of your thoughts on taking care of parrots and how people should take care of them, if they got to rehome them, and give me some of your thoughts.
With birds, the big thing that people have to understand is when they do get a pet bird, to understand how long they live. Birds can live 80, 100 years depending on the species, and the big thing is to make sure that you understand the limitations of where you're going, and they're family heirlooms. If you want to hand them down to educate you have to educate your kids, or find people that through the bird's life that they get accustomed to, so that when you hand over the ownership. And then sometimes people, through circumstance, can't keep their birds, don't have anybody to hand them down to. The difference with Ethical Parrot Owners, it's a Facebook-based group, and what they do is they have a monthly meeting. They're all about educating people, making sure they understand about nutrition, disciplines, housing, caging, toys, how to influence birds' lives to enrich them. But the trick is with rehoming, some places believe in hoarding or keeping a whole bunch of birds together as opposed to allowing them to be kept as pets. And Ethical Parrot Owners, the way that they work is it's kind of triage for birds. We bring them in, we figure out and assess them, we figure out and make sure they're nutritionally sound, and then psychologically where they're at, understanding the bird, getting some history down on paper, and then the next stage is to find somebody. It's like dating, making sure that it's a good fit with the new owner and the bird likes them, not necessarily just because the person wants a bird. Exactly. That may not be a fit. Because again, this could be another 30, 40 years. This is a marriage. Yeah. It's forever. Yeah. So we want to make sure that we get a good fit between the two, and then we want to take it one step further. We want to educate the new owner, making sure that they understand all of the processes, what they're getting into, making sure that they live in an appropriate environment that they can enrich that bird and keep the bird. Because birds can be loud, birds can be destructive, they can be expensive, they have toy habits.
It's the old story. People have to know what they're getting into. And you said so many great facts in there. One is that they live forever. I know people that have left parrots in their wills, and because they do live a long time. And I see a lot of birds, they start plucking. You've got to keep them occupied. You've got to keep them happy. And it's just like with any animal, you have to know the commitment that you're getting into. People spend more time, looking into a car than something that's going to be with you for the next 30 and 40 years. So I really commend you on what you're doing. Now, how do people get in contact with you?
The Facebook group, if you look them up on Facebook, it's Ethical Parrot Owners, or EPO, and that's the best way to get in contact with them, and you go from there. And they have a whole community online where they support each other, and it's kind of grown. It's almost North American wide now. They have people all across that are like-minded and starting to think about and how they want to proceed with bird ownership and making sure. A case in point, we have a lady online currently who is battling cancer, which is really sad to hear, and now she's looking at and thinking, where am I going to send my birds, and what am I going to do? And that's a circumstance none of us think of, but because birds live so long that they go through all the different stages that in your life. And when we think about it, dogs, we're lucky if we can get 10, 15 years from a dog. Cats are 15, 18, rodents, you're lucky if you get 3, 4. Birds are really different. And the other problem with birds is that because they're so intellectual, so intelligent, that people get this bond beyond, and because they're so long that you get to work with that bird and you get to bond with that bird, that it's way harder for people to give up their birds for rehoming and the whole issue. And there's so much emotion, way more emotion in bird rehoming and the whole rescue, and that is so hard to work with. So part of it is also just support for the people who have to give up the bird. It's painful, it's really hard, and they want to make sure that they're doing the right thing and it's the right move, and it's really a process.
This has been so enlightening, and if more people would think about it, and it's been an absolute pleasure to listen to your philosophy in this bird thing. I mean, you put them in a cage, and they, it's the old story. You have to learn a responsibility. It's responsibility of pet ownership. This is what the Canadian Pet Expo is all about. This is what we're trying to accentuate to people is think about when you're getting a pet. What are you getting into? And Mark, you have really opened my eyes. Thank you so much.
Oh, you're very welcome, and we look forward to the next few years of people coming out and bringing their questions and working through their issues and helping them for a really good pet experience. That's what we all want.
Absolutely. Take care.
Thank you.